Hey, so like way I train people upstairs at General Fitness, there's like a big track, a lot of cardio here, but this is where people deadlift. So they have a deadlift platform, so I see deadlifts all the time. And a ton of people deadlift, which is awesome because I love deadlifting, but I see some pretty awful deadlifts. So today I want to just give you a few pointers on how to deadlift properly so you don't hurt yourself, and that you'll do the right deadlift, and also so that you'll actually fail in the right spots. So fundamentally deadlifts are the same. So this is what we would call maybe like a rack deadlift because it's elevated on a bar, on like a platform. But it's the same thing if you're doing deadlifts off the ground, if you're doing a kettlebell deadlift, if you're doing a trap bar deadlift. A lot of the same things apply. So one of the things that become important is that you don't use your back and turn this into a back extension. So a lot of times people come up here and what they're doing is they'll deadlift and then it's basically their ass goes up and then they do a back extension, okay? What really should happen here is the first phase of the deadlift is you should basically be thinking about doing a leg press or like a squat. You want to push the ground away from you and initially get the bar off the ground. Once you get the bar off the ground, you want to drive your hips forward, squeezing your glutes as hard as you can, like drive your pelvis right into the bar. So it looks like this. So in my deadlift here, I'm going to initiate, drive through the legs, it's off the ground, and I come up here. So when I do that kind of all happens at one motion here. But now if you don't do that, this is when you don't have enough strength in the legs, so what happens is your butt goes up and then you start, use your back here. So the same thing applies if I'm doing a sumo deadlift. All right, same thing, push, get the bar off, drive the hips forward. And another tip I want to do is that you want to make sure that you can brace your abs. A lot of people with lifting belts, but all the lifting belt does not protect your back. It sucks in your core and that helps you brace your abs. So you want to learn how to brace properly without the belt. So all you really want to do is breathe in, drive air into your stomach and push that air out, and then contain that air as you come up from your deadlift. So I'm going to set up my deadlift. Fill the face up with air, keep that tension. Come up, squeeze the butt. Exhale, rebrace, and then go back down. And then one more tip before I go is that we don't want to be, actually two. We don't want to yank the bar because if I start, a lot of times people will bend down, you'll end up using the back. You want to keep tension on your arms so that when you lift, it's all from the left. Again, if you have this little slack where people come up and do this thing, that's a bad idea. And the last thing, I don't like the touch and go. So people deadlift like this. I really drop with a little weight settle and come up. The reason for that is I find that what ends up happening, people start doing that a little too fast. You start bouncing the weight, and when you bounce the weight, you end up using the lower back instead of your legs and glutes, right? So those are my deadlift tips. Hopefully those will help you out. Let me know if you have any questions.